Thanks for joining Let's Get to Talking, presented to you by Black Gay Table Talk. I'm Kenan.
I'm Dorian.
Join us as we take you on a journey of discussion from two Black gay male perspectives.
Get ready for authentic, heartfelt, raunchy, thought-provoking, and relatable shows.
We're happy to be a part of your podcast family.
Let's get to talking.
Thanks for joining Let's Get to Talking, presented to you by Black Gay Table Talk. I'm one of your hosts, Kenan.
And I'm Dorian.
Hey, and for today's episode, well, first off, kudos to us for season 2. Woo!
Yay! Hooray, hooray, hooray.
We did it. So for today's episode, Dorian, what are we talking about?
Something that's been on my mind and heart for a while.
Okay.
Black gay celebrities that date out of their race. And why are there so many?
Okay. I'm glad we're talking about this, actually. Okay, well, let's kick it off.
Well, let's get to talking, because I'm just anxious to just throw this out up in the air and see what falls out of the sky.
You know what? You got to hit the people one time with the let's get to talking.
Let's get to talking. Hey, Kenan, let's get to talking.
Right. Yes. All right. So I guess, what questions do you have? First off, what do you see?
I see a lot of African-American celebrities who has taken the big step of even acknowledging that they're gay openly.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do come out, I have not found one. And I challenge our listeners, if there's a Black gay couple out there, celebrity,
mm-hmm.
please inbox us, email us, let me know. But I have not found one male couple. Yes, there are a number of Black lesbians who have Black lovers. Mm-hmm. But as far as men, I have not found one. And I think I've done some research prior to us talking about this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you have one, let me know, Kenan. Do you know of any Black male gay couple? Celebrity. And I want to make sure that everyone knows we're talking celebrities.
Yeah.
High profile, political figures, sport figures, actors.
Yeah. So I had to do some digging, right? Other than, and you're saying male, right?
Correct.
Oh my God. I had to do some digging. I was able to find Justice Smith and Nicholas Ash.
Okay. Nicholas Ash is from Queen Sugar.
Okay. Yeah. So they're a celebrity Black couple, or, a celeb Black gay couple, I should say. And I found another, Bishop O.C. Allen and First Gentleman Rashad Burgess. So
he's a reverend, a pastor.
Yeah. A bishop.
Where are they from? I'm going to Google them. I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah. So the way it goes is they became famous after a BET documentary, Holler If You Hear Me, Black and Gay in the Church. I did not see it. I actually found this out through doing the research. 7 Black gay celebrity couples to love and follow from Instinct magazine. So I would never have, I wasn't familiar with them, unfortunately. But I guess there are a few out there, because even with looking into it, there wasn't much to find.
And I'm not one to judge anyone's level of success, but are we talking B level, C level? These are not A-listers. We're talking about D-listers or local. We're not talking mainstream. And I guess when I spoke of this, I'm thinking mainstream. I'm thinking...
Right. Mainstream, like Niecy Nash and her wife. Oh, gosh. What is Niecy's wife's name?
But that goes to what I'm saying. That's a female couple.
True.
Brittany Griner. You can throw Brittany Griner out there.
Yes. Or Jessica. Niecy Nash and Jessica. Okay. So that level of celebrity? No.
And that's what I'm saying. You look at, and I'm not going to throw him under the bus or ridicule him, anything. Look at a Don Lemon.
Yeah. Go ahead, say it.
I mean, that's just one of, and what I don't want this conversation to be about is me just listing all the celebrities that's out there that have acknowledged their sexuality.
Yeah.
But in turn, they don't have Black partners. And you love, I want everyone to love who you love. Love has no color.
Right. To each their own. Yeah.
Right. But I also, as a Black man himself, I look at out there and I'm like, wow, what is driving our successful Black men to veer over to the non-melanated population? You're laughing, but this has really set with me because I'm just blown away that you can't find just one couple.
True. So is it that the couples that are out there now, they're not staying together long enough to put the narratives out for us to get the representation? Or is it that the more that you're in the limelight, obviously, the more your relationship is criticized? So is it that there's a certain level of protection that they're adding to their relationship by not, getting into the limelight?
So let me reiterate what I think I heard. You're saying if I date outside of my race, there's going to be some longevity to my relationship?
No, not at all. What I'm saying is, well, the questions that I'm posing are, A, do we not see that representation of Black couples out there because they're trying to protect their relationship by not allowing that limelight in? Or are the relationships not lasting long enough for them to create the narrative to be represented, or to be a representation of a Black gay celebrity relationship or a Black gay relationship?
You can still, and this is a heterosexual couple, but I'm going to just use them for the purpose of this conversation. I look at Denzel Washington and his wife.
Yeah.
They've been together for how long? Or Samuel L. Jackson and his wife, LaToya. They've been together. You don't know much what goes on. You know they're together and you know who their spouse is, but their relationship is not played out in the media.
True. Their relationship is not played out in the media, but at the same time, there's a certain level of criticism that a Black gay couple would get versus a Denzel. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole...
You've already dealt with the criticism because you've openly acknowledged that you're gay.
That doesn't... I understand what you're saying, right? You've already put it out there that you're gay, so that criticism starts. But when you add in the mix two emotional beings, two beings that can perceive those attacks in totally different ways, it can, in my opinion, sometimes create a strife in the relationship. And you see it when you look at reality shows all the time, with the straight couples or whatever couple. You see it, and if that foundation isn't solid, they're not lasting. So, it is a bit taboo to be in that arena and have your relationship in the forefront. You get what I'm trying to say?
I understand, but it still doesn't neglect the fact that there are still over 10 that I can easily come off the top of my head and name of successful Black men who have come out publicly acknowledging their sexuality, and not one of them has a African American.
True. I'm standing with you. I mean, it's true all day long, but why is it?
This is the purpose of this conversation. Can we come up with some reasoning or thought behind that? Now, I'll use basketball as an example. Most of our Black basketball players are from the inner city, or from even the ones that grew up in small towns. They're from Very few of our professional basketball players have gone straight through Ivy League grammar schools, high schools. They all come from some type of dysfunctional surrounding, whether it be single family homes, being foster children. I would say, don't know the exact percentage, but you can probably say a good 70% of the NBA comes from dysfunctional families.
Okay. Now tie that back for me, though.
But I lost my train of thought now. I got to catch up with my train. Yeah. But I'm basically saying, are the successful Black men out there, one of the reasons they choose to stay away from it is because they don't want to bring the hood to what they have.
Ooh, the hood.
I'm thinking, I'm trying to think outside the box.
Okay.
And what I'm thinking is, okay, I've made it to this level of success. I can't pull Pookie along with me. When I'm going out to social events and everything, I need someone who can.
You're making me pull my hair back for this one. I'm
trying to think of a reason why they choose not to want to bring someone along with them. And when I say someone, I'm speaking of another African American gentleman.
So, okay, I'll say this. Is it disappointing that I can't look at TV or go to the media and find a couple that would inspire me and my husband? Or that over the years that we've been together, mind you, almost 20 years. Yes, it's disappointing that there's not been representation, right? There's no model or no Claire Huxtable, Claire and Heathcliff, there's none of that. And that it can kind of sting because it feels like you're trying to operate within a world that you don't belong.
Okay.
But at the same time, in my heart of hearts, I would like to think that it's just that they just so happen to fall in love with someone of the opposite sex. I mean, opposite race. Someone of the opposite race. I almost want to say something, but no, fuck it, I'll say it. I think a lot of times when we get money, right, things come down to vanity. And to your point, I don't want to bring the hood along or whatever. I think that that there is a common knowledge of what a Black person will accept and what a white person won't accept or another race won't accept. And I do think that in some instances, not all, some instances, the easier option is chosen because they know that they're able to either get away with more or they're able to have more doors open because they have that white following now because they're with somebody white. I know it stings me to even say it, but I think that wholeheartedly it is true in some cases. In some cases.
I'm just using him as an example. By no means do I have any prejudice against him, but Billy Porter and his lover. So you're saying, based on what you just said, my interpretation again is he's getting more roles now because he has a white partner versus if he had Rashad with him.
I'm not going to say him in particular. Hell no. I love Billy.
No, I love him too. But that's why I say I'm not dragging him. I just use him as an example.
Yeah. I will say that I think that there are some individuals out there that do seize that opportunity because you can't win over. And depending on the industry you're in and what you're doing, you may very well not be able to win over that other side of that audience, which dominates a lot of these entertainment industries. Let's just start there. That's your way of, we see it in straight couples. Oh, they're together just for, just for the media attention. Oh, this, it's not real. We see it all the time. Why wouldn't it be the case in a gay scenario? Not saying that it happens often, but I do think that there are times where it does happen.
Well, as a Black gay man, it's disheartening to know that we have political leaders out there that we have sports figures, we have actors, we have all of these professions out there where we have someone that has achieved a certain level of success, and yes, they have the right to love whomever they love. Mm-hmm. But it's when you look at the broad picture, you don't see them with their own.
True. That's true. It's true.
And I wish there were more male couples out there to show that you can still be successful and have a relationship with someone of your own nationality and be just as successful.
And so I'll be real. And you know me, normally I've been very private. Even before, I'm normally very private. I had someone tell me recently, because you know that Dominic and I are doing the marriage sessions now, right?
Okay.
So, and if you haven't already, check out Marriage Sessions.
Shameless plug.
Yes. But they were like, oh, well, what are you doing? What are y'all doing? Why are y'all putting your business out there? It's like, well, it's nothing that we wouldn't want out there. And then at the same time, I'll say for me, and I think for him too, once we reached a certain milestone in the relationship, it was like, okay, well, what are we doing to help others be able to find that same thing, right? Mm-hmm. And not saying it's perfect, not saying it's going to last forever, not saying any of that, right? Not pushing an agenda, but more so, hey, here's who we are. Here is how we've been able to do what we've done, and learn from our mistakes as you go, you know, to make your journey a bit easier.
You're sharing your experiences in hopes that someone behind you can take what you're sharing,
right,
and move up or do better. So that makes sense. Exactly. I totally agree with that.
What they said was, baby, you need to be careful. It's people out here who don't want you happy, who may become jealous of what they see that y'all have, and they know that they don't have it. And there are some people who just like to burn shit down. You know what I'm saying? And my response was, well, you know what? At this point, I think we're good with that. Like, you can't go into something like this after almost 20 years of privacy, not knowing what you're actually, what you're actually compromising on, or what some potential pitfalls could be. So it is what it is. But I think that in anything, if the intent is pure, everything will work itself out on the back end anyway.
Well, that goes to one of my favorite sayings. And if the audience from our first season have listened to it, they know one of my favorite quotes is, they're going to judge me anyway.
That is your quote. Yes.
So no matter what I do, I'm going to be judged. Someone's going to be out there that's going to judge me. True.
Now, let me ask you something. How would we change that? Like, is there anything that we could do that would change us being, or help us be able to see more Black gay couples out there? And they don't necessarily have to be famous, right? So I will admit, there's not that famous representation, but as I'm getting into this more, and when I say this, I mean this, like with the podcast, the social media presence, the whole nine, I'm starting to find that there are couples out there. Not a whole lot that have like that longevity in the relationship, but there are a lot of Black gay couples that I'm finding that don't mind putting out there, hey, here we are, here's what we got. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, social media is big. I mean, there are a number of gay couples that I follow on YouTube. I mean, I look forward to them posting. I mean, it's entertaining. You know, sometimes they have some very good topics themselves that they're speaking on, and just some of the things that you do, and to see different personalities and how they coexist together. I find it to be much better than scripted TV. And that's a plus to all of them that I look at. You know, you have the couple that seems to be a little bit more mild-mannered. Then you have the ones that's really out there that's always up for some type of adventure, doing something. So it just, to see that is wonderful. I'm just saying, why aren't our A-listers who are out there, and I'm not asking them to put their business on social business media, but what I am, at least to acknowledge that you have a Black lover.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, but
it's a discussion that needs to be had. And I'm going to relate to something that you found prior to us recording on an article that Ebony did. And what year was that article written in?
Well, it was a while ago. It was a while, 2014.
There you go. I knew the date. I wanted you to say it. But they asked the same question.
Yeah.
Why do our Black celebrities choose to date outside of their race?
Yeah. It's a good question. That getting into that article, though, so if I'm not mistaken, well, and of course they weren't saying it should be one way or the other, but if you do look at the community, you do have the A-listers, whether they're in the sports arena, whether they're comedians, whether they're actors. And I know a few of them, and I love that they're in love, and I love and I love all that. But just looking at the perspective of representation of Black gay couples in the media, Ebony did a good job of acknowledging that it was not there. It wasn't there. But even in that article, if I'm not mistaken, they looked at a New York Times article that had been highlighted where it even mentioned that gay couples of color are more likely to be raising kids together than whites. But all these other things, and if you haven't, you can go check the article out. It was an older article that Ebony did some while ago about Black gay celebs with white partners. But when it was broken down into I forgot my thought. But anyway, like,
it happens.
They just really they really present the question in a way to make you do some thinking and then do some digging. But at the end of the day, I'm not confident, not just from that article, but even looking at the United States Census Bureau information for same-sex couples, I'm not confident that we really know where to go, where the answer to this question lies. You get what I'm saying? I don't think there's a one answer fits all type of thing.
You are correct. There is no one answer that would fit all. There's absolutely nothing that would give us a direct answer. But it's something that I think we should have the discussion about because, once again, you look at all of these celebrities, whether they're into the arts, political, whatever arena they're in, they're not, they don't have partners that look like them or come from the same background as them.
But then a big part of it, so I won't lie, I want to ask, like, and this is me being humble, right? But who are we to question their choices? Like,
I'm not questioning. I'm just trying to figure out, when you look at a percentage, what makes them all tend to seem to veer that way? What is it in their DNA? What is it in their mind thought? What is it in their upbringing that says, okay, I have become an A-lister now. The only way to stay on the A list is to say, I can only date
But come on now, let's be real. When you get to a certain level of stardom, a lot of things do become manufactured, I believe. So I think it'd be...
Okay, so let that be the answer then. These are all manufactured relationships.
Or not manufactured in the sense of, hey, here, you get with this person, you get, but manufactured in the sense of, hey, if you're going to date, which I know you are going to date, here's what you're going to have to date. This is what looks good for you on paper. This is what looks good for you on film. You know what I'm saying? This is what looks good for you in these arenas. So if you're going to get somebody from one of, this. These are your options.
So
I think
among all the options that we have, they are not given the option of, heck, go over to Nigeria and get you one if you don't want an American. But he looks more like you.
Yeah.
And no one's going to question the same, using him as a example. If Billy Porter said, oh, I went over to Ghana and I found the love of my life, I don't think we would still be having the same type of conversation. Mm-hmm. Because even though he's not from America, he still has a brother with him. True.
Now, but like you have Don Lemon. Don Lemon's husband, his partner is white.
Mm-hmm.
You have, oh gosh, Sam, the football player. Sam.
I just said his name. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So his partner was white, or is white, I should say. Oh gosh. Yeah. So just calling out some, not saying we're targeting them. We're not saying.
That's why I didn't want to use any names.
But you did. You
other than really, I didn't use a list of names. That's why I tend to use the two people that I've stated.
Okay. Well, we're gonna spread the love. Okay. Because but looking at those couples, I love to see love, right? And let me just say this too. I've been with, not been with, I'm a virgin, but I've dated white guys. I've dated white guys, and I still to this day find some white guys very attractive, very attractive. But there's no other way to put it. I think at a certain level in that stardom, a lot of things do start to become manufactured, or they have to be packaged in a particular way to allow you to still have that same level of success or to elevate you. Just my 2 cents. Not saying that these relationships started that way or that they are that way. Make that clear, okay? Don't be writing us. Or
I get that there are when you become an A-lister, there are certain things that you package and certain images that you want the public to portray.
Mm-hmm.
I totally get that. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're in love with someone, you can't manufacture who I am in love with.
Mm-hmm.
And if I fall in love with a black person, you have to find a way to work around that image to make that work. You can't tell me it would look so much better if you just find you someone else outside of your race.
I agree. Now, here's something I think we could do, right? Because we're the ones who have the need. We're the ones who see the gaps. We're the ones who want that representation for us, right? I think we should start promoting and amplifying those couples that we do see, those black gay couples that we do see. I think that we should engage them more, talk about them more, share them more, and really let them know, like, hey, I know you're sacrificing a lot by putting it out there, putting your relationship out there, but here's what you putting your relationship out there does for me, my family, or my, you know what I'm saying, my mental health. Seeing that representation does actually, it helps. That's what I think we could do.
It does, because I'm just like you say on the marriage pod that you do it for the next generation and sharing your experiences. I think if we have A-lister celebrities who have made that first big step of even acknowledging that they're gay,
Mm-hmm.
and now showing that they can still have a successful gay relationship with another man, African American, and just let it be known, someone behind them is going to say, hey, they made it work. So it has to be a way to be successful and still have, my high school sweetheart, or, my little college fling that's been around since day one.
Right.
And I believe, once again, I don't know because I don't know any of these celebrities personally, but I believe in the heyday when they were just around the mill guys, they did date brothers. I'm sure they did.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's funny. I was talking to another friend, and they made the comment that some of the successful Black guys, the reason they tend to go out, and this goes for heterosexual relationships as well, as when they were Bob the bag boy at the local grocery store before they made their big break, little Pookie didn't want them. Pookie was looking at him side eye like, I'm going to pass on that. But now that he's made it to his success, now everybody wants him. And he's like, screw y'all. Y'all didn't want me when I didn't have anything. Now that I have something.
You want to come try to run up now.
Right. So that's one of the things that I've heard. How true it is, I don't know. I haven't been in that. I haven't made it to the A-list yet.
I think it all has some truth to it in some form or fashion, but at the same time, I don't want to discount the fact that it is possible to find your soulmate in somebody of the opposite color. The thing where it becomes an issue is when you feel like you have to go to the opposite color to gain more, whatever it may be, just gaining more versus gaining that more with someone from our own color and race. But it's a fine line, though, because keep in mind that interracial relationships as a whole, right, heterosexual, whatever, were just as illegal as
within the last 50 years.
Right. So they yet still, although we're looking at it from one lens where it's like, okay, well, are you crapping on us because you feel like you could gain more by being with a white person? But on the flip side of that, there are still people who down and ostracize and attack them because they are in an interracial relationship. So they're going through their own set of struggles on the other side. And it doesn't always have to be just Black and white. I know couples where the one of the guy's families is actually Hispanic.
Okay.
He's Hispanic, and his husband was Black, and the Black guy got it from the Hispanic family just as bad as I've heard Black guys getting it from the white families. Ain't that something? So I don't think it really matters much if it's just white or whatever. I think that they have their own set of struggles that they go through on a daily basis because they're in that interracial relationship.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure there's always there's going to be a challenge regardless. Whether there's two Black guys, two white guys, Black and white, Black and Latino, there's still going to be some level of challenge that they face.
True.
To overcome.
True.
I'm just saying, when you look at a picture of a whole of our A-list celebrities and politicians and sport figures and all the other occupations out there, Why is it that I can't go to Google and find a A-lister out there? And I'm not throwing names out there, but I don't want somebody to come talking about, oh, look at Todrick Hall. Well, first of all, he does not have a black lover, but you know what I'm saying? Don't come out here throwing
Karamo.
Okay.
There's truly not a single one I can think of.
That's where I'm going with it. So we have just spent 38 minutes proving my point. There isn't any.
Well, you know what? Let's make it happen then. Let's find these couples that are out there trying to do their thing that may not have that platform, and let's elevate them. Let's support them, push them up.
There we go.
Be our new A-list representation of whatever.
And once again, I'm gonna throw a shout out to all of my YouTube couples that I follow, because they give me inspiration to look at and know that there is successful couples out there.
Yes. Actually, let's do that. Let's have let's give some shout outs to those couples that we see, and let's try to let them know that they're supported and that they have this platform as well for representation.
Awesome. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm going to say it's been a great conversation again.
As always. And thank you all for joining us and listening. We're going to wrap it up here. But don't forget, if you haven't already, stop by www.blackgaytabletalk.com. There you have access to premium episodes, merchandise, and you get access to your hosts here. There will be forums when you sign up as a premium member, and opportunities for you to join the table. So go ahead, stop by the website, join,